want a ticket straight to them pearly gates.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the final character, Mizu. For those of you who do not know, the final character, Mizu, is less than 20 days away. I believe at the time you're watching this, it's about 17, but regardless, 20 days away. New character, first time since the launch of Tekken 8. A lot of people are excited. Some people are skeptical because we've seen the pole dancing, we've seen the projectiles, the abilities, two things that we don't like about Tekken 8. And I also think that's going to factor a lot into this conversation of what we're going to talk about. So first, before we do that, I do want to give a shout out to the great King J. He is currently hanging out with the Koreans and he is doing in-person interviews. And the video that really caught my attention was Ask the Pros, do you like the new Tekken 8 character Mizu? Now, what Nee said in this is wild, but I do want to go through and break down just a little bit of what some of the other people said as well, because I think the discussion around this character is super interesting and it's also at a critical level when you talk about how people feel about the game. A lot of people are starting to have fun with Tekken 8. A lot of people are starting to get over the Season 2 backlash, but they have a potential with Mizu to trigger it all again. That's kind of what we've been saying with Fakamram, with Armor King. People are a little bit skeptical about the direction and the game getting better, right? They're listening, it's improving. Season 1 was the same exact thing, and then it all fell apart with Season 2. So players are feeling that same type of dread with Season 2, that something will break the game next.
I think all the players hate her for sure. Me, I never think about design, but she's really strong. Only think about the competition.
So Ulsan is thinking about it from a pro player sense, right? He's not thinking about the design, the skin, the Ogre. He's thinking about the tournament viability. And he's saying just from the trailer alone, she looks strong. We have 3 other new characters in Tekken 8, Azazina, Reina, and Victor. And Victor is the strongest out of the 3 when you talk about competitiveness. We saw Farzine basically be a Victor main since the game came out. So if Mizu was on the level of Victor or stronger, I think it would be a problem. But on Victor's level, it's pretty reasonable. Weaker on the level of Reina and Azazina, I think some players might be disappointed, but also I don't know, because Armor King and Fakamram is closer than a Reina, Azazina than they are a Victor.
My very first secondary, I should say. I'm gonna play her like it's no other.
She might be good, she might be crazy, I don't know, but I'm gonna try her out.
You can see here with Trill where he's a little bit skeptical of how powerful she will be and what she will bring in terms of gameplay. And this is what a lot of people feel about the character. Like, they're kind of excited, but they're a little hesitant at the same time. He definitely represents a large chunk of the player base.
Not interesting for me to playing her. The hitbox and the hurtbox, when I see the combo in the trailer, is quite weird. Right now, everyone knows that she has like the Ogre power, but I think that's gonna be some broken thing that people is gonna hate, like Safina.
So Book is looking at it from a different perspective as well, right? Evasion is something we talk about a lot with Tekken, and Zhao Yu, Yoshimitsu, there's certain characters who dip more into evasion than others. But when Mizu stands on that pole, when she breaks your throw, jumps away, land on the wall, and then jumps back, people are just trying to figure out how a lot of these things are going to work, because we literally never seen something like that before. I am very interested to see what her hitbox is like in the neutral when she starts trying to get on that pole and spin around and do stuff. Will you be afraid to engage and that allows her this huge advantage, or will you be able to hit her off and she has a huge hitbox?
To be honest, I was a little disappointed when they announced Mizu, because I thought they would be more true to the original Ogre character, but they made such a kind of different feeling to it that it kind of just didn't feel right.
This is when Edge really starts talking about the Ogre connection, right? Something feels off. Harada said there's multiple Ogres. The developers were just playing around with our minds, and now actually seeing Mizu, this fun, loving, joyful female character with a reborn ogre spirit inside of her, it's just kind of a weird thing. The concept as it currently stands, could go either very right and could be one of the best additions to Tekken, or it could be something that is like really like disliked, and then in the next Tekken it doesn't make an appearance at all, because you know that's how things happened in the past, where the developers tried something, it didn't work, and then in the next game you don't hear anything from it again. Okay, so now we're at the point where we will be reacting to Knee. If you want to see the other reactions, go to King J's video and watch the full thing, but what I really want to talk about is what Knee says, so I'll let that play and then we'll break it down.
Miary?
Yeah.
Shit. Really shit. This is bullshit. Ogre is ogre. But so this is, I think, marketing. I feel.
So the first part of what Knee says there is that, first off, he doesn't like the character. He thinks the character is trash. But then the second part, he says the connection to Ogre aspect is probably marketing. And what he means by that is they know we love Ogre. They know we love Tekken 3. And in order to make us immediately love this character, connect her to Ogre. Now watch what Knee says next.
I feel not Tekken. Maybe Bandai Namco worried if she is not popular. So I think into the story.
He basically says that, and he could be wrong, right? But I think what I'm going to show you next kind of shows that maybe he is right. But Knee was basically saying that the Tekken developers probably worried that Mizu would be received well. And the reason why I believe this, and the reason why I'm making a video about this, is one, I have something to show you, but then two, she is a weapon, projectile, energy, ability using type character. We know that Tekken developers take about 2-3 years to cook, to develop, right? And at the start of her like foundation of what she was going to be, you know, you could talk about the Clive problem, you could talk about the Anna problem. Those two characters really ignited this we hate weapon user argument. Yes, it always existed kind of with Yoshimitsu's poison breath, low unblockable, but Yoshimitsu in previous games especially did a better job of feeling more balanced. Even in Tekken 7, Negan with his bat had way more range than Yoshimitsu. But then here comes Tekken 8 and you have Victor, you have Devil Jin's Chain, you have Jun Kazama Light. And this is what really created this sense of like these weapon users and their infinite range is annoying. And like I said, the lid blew open with Clive and Anna. And I could see the developers panicking at the start of season 2 and trying to overhaul this character to make sure that that doesn't happen with her. Now, the reason why I say that this is probably true is because I have two tweets. You have this one here where I was basically talking about the reveal of season 2 Anna, right? And you can see at the bottom that this is a note from the developers. Note, the colors are hints at the character. And this is basically ignited this whole thing where we were trying to guess which color is what character and how it would all add up. For the character Mizu, the final character, you can see it has this kind of teal-like color. A little bit later, Harada, and this is June 14th. This is after season 2 Backlash. This is after Anna is swinging that rocket around and shooting missiles. Someone asks if they can share more details about the final character, and Harada says, "We're currently in production, so I cannot reveal any details. One thing that I can say is that after announcing the original character slot for this new character, we made several detail changes, and as a result, the default image costume color no longer is green or turquoise, at least at this point." Now, what's interesting about this as well is that the final color did end up matching this silhouette. But the fact that he said this, you know, after, like immediately after the season 2 Backlash, they were tweaking Mizu based off of Anna's Backlash. And Knee saying that she's not a, you know, real Tekken character is very spot on, because when people look at her, she is not Tekken, she is Tekken 8. A weapon, ability, jumping around, evasion. We can just see the difference in the way that they designed Fakaram and Armor King, that they are definitely changing these characters based on the Backlash. So for Mizu, the next weapon user to be added to this game, for her to be grouped together with Ogre to sell her and package her better, because you got to admit, if the Ogre aspect wasn't there, a lot of people really would not be interested. So they probably combined those two things together to market her better. But then also, I would imagine they are really trying to pay attention to her range, her abilities, to make sure it doesn't turn out like another Anna, because you saw Osan was already looking at it and saying, yeah, she looks competitively viable, really viable. Let me know what you guys think. We're less than 20 days away. Do you think that Nee is kind of spot on with this, or do you think that he's not?